we are Leap Wallet, and I'm Kaushik. I lead the the efforts for near blockchain development from Leap Wallet, and we have Sam and Chinmay from our team, the developers in our team, joining us today. Right. So starting with, hey, who is Leap Wallet? And a little bit about ourselves. We have been building wallets for the last 1.5 years on Cosmos, Near, and Terra. And along with wallet solutions with best in class performance and UX, we have also been building Web3 infra products specifically aimed at developers with the sole aim on helping developers ship faster. We have been given a grant from Near Foundation sometime in last year, and since then we have been building both again wallet and infra products on Near. And in today's session, I want to cover the developer products we have been building specifically. And to start with, what are we solving for with these developer products? What's our goal? And our goal is to make it super easy for builders on Near to build better and faster apps, right? And essentially, yeah, we want devs to get back their sleeping time, which they definitely deserve. And how are we doing this? Uh, Again, the origin of it stems from our own experience. Like we started with building a wallet on Near, and while we were building it, we realized there were these gaps in terms of few products, a few infrastructure level products, due to which either we have limitations on terms of performance or reliability, or actually in building with more features. And when we had a chat with a few developers in the ecosystem, we realized they themselves face the same challenges, and the solution they implemented is build those themselves, right? Which essentially meant the same products, right? Like something like an indexer, the notification service, or a wallet SDK. It was actually built by multiple products, multiple dApps, and that's where we realized. And another major point here is these are all not something that is core to their product experiences, which essentially means lots of developers' time is going into building things which are not core to their product experience, which will eventually mean in terms of their user experience as well, right? So that's where we came in and realized the three products which I'm showing on the screen right now, which is Indexer, a notification service, and Wallet SDK, which are more or less core to a wallet builder. Hence, we as a wallet builder thought we'll build these products and provide it as service to rest of the developers, rest of the dApps, DeFi projects, games, whoever else wants to build on Near, right? So that's the genesis of us building these, and I'll be covering these three things and where we are right now for these three products one by one now. Starting with Leap Wallet SDK for Near. And the way we see this is the fastest way to get started with building on Near and Web3, right? And again, starting with the problems that we are trying to solve, what that we have identified is one side, builders on Near want to provide a seamless experience between their product and the wallet interaction, essentially the layer to interact with the blockchain layer, right? And we have already seen this happening on Near, someone like Sweat or Few and Far, who have, along with building their own core product, which is fitness-based rewards in Sweat's case and NFT marketplace in Few and Far's case, but they've also taken out time and developer effort to build seamless wallet experiences, wallet creations, wallet management, etc. Right? And this made sense because users in general want a very simple Web2-like onboarding flows and wallet interaction flows. But the flip side to this is not a straightforward piece, right? And when you're building a wallet from scratch by each and every product means it takes dedicated effort and time. And that's where we come in, where the solution that we are providing now is, which is essentially Near's wallet as a service, which is basically a plug and play modular wallet SDK. It's a JS SDK right now that can be customized and easily fit into any project, right? What I mean by this is, let me actually show you a case study. It's already this is in market, and we have a few beta partners who have been integrating. One of them is Growfitter. A little bit about Growfitter. They are an Indian-based fitness rewards platform who have roughly 1 million plus downloads, which is essentially they have a base of roughly 1 million users, and they till now primarily have been a Web2 company, where they put out these competitions to users, fitness competitions to user, where you as a user signs up to this competition, and it might be something like finish 100K steps in 5 days, right? And they have this technology to track if the user is walking or not, almost similar to Sweat, I would say. And if they win the competition, they get some rewards in return, something like either Amazon coupons or Puma products or Apple products, etc. So primarily being in the Web2 space, rewards has been in the Web2 space. Now they want to bring these users onto Web3, right? And they had primarily three very specific requirements for their users, given their basis, again, primarily very Web2 based, right? They're not exposed to Web3 yet. So one requirement of theirs is the onboarding should be seamless, and the whole seed phrase, etc., which is again very Web3 thing, shouldn't be put on them, or else they will be overwhelmed. Second is even the interaction with the blockchain, they want it to be very seamless. Again, shouldn't feel like they're doing 4 or 5 steps for minting, or again going through the usual Web3 experiences. And finally, the overall product experience shouldn't be broken. It should feel as native as another feature within their app. So that's the problem statement that we started with. How do we build this wallet SDK, which will enable this Web2 product, which is primarily Web2 product, add Web3 features into their app, right? And again, I'll quickly show you how the flow looks like in their app. But yes, they launched this pilot campaign and roughly end of February. And so far already 200 plus NFTs, on-chain NFTs are minted by these primarily Web2 users through Leaf Wallet SDK. So let me take a minute and show how the flow looks like on their app. So starting with, yeah. So this is how the Growfitter app looks like, and user enters the competition. And as you can see, Leap creates a non-custodial wallet at the backend using Web3 auth social login technology. Now, yeah, they land on their available minting stage, where the NFT is actually minted by the user. And yes, they finally, essentially from the moment of creating the wallet till actually minting it, it takes less than 30 seconds, and everything flows within the app, right? There is no external pop-up or third-party pop-up that comes up and flows completely natively to the app that they have built. Right. So basically what's happening here is through our SDK, they were able to elevate their Web3 part of experience, tenfold, which because primarily, again, 3 reasons. One is our SDK adapts to add completely native experience. There's no breakage in the user flow, user experience, and you don't need to be redirected to some third-party pop-up. Second is in terms of onboarding, it's effortless. Again, we don't overwhelm the users with seed phrases and everything else that comes with Web3 wallet, usual Web3 wallet creation. Users are comfortable with Google login or Facebook login, and we use that to actually create a non-custodial wallet. And this is enabled through the MPC tech that Web3 auth has built, right? And the third part is and once the wallet is created, the interaction with the Web3 itself. In this Growfitter's case, it's about minting NFTs and interacting with NFTs. That has also been made very seamless, because again, since that's the first interaction with the user for the user with Web3, we wanted the gas fees to be sponsored by ourselves, by the Growfitter team, which means again we build those tokens transfers APIs. So the moment the user's wallet is created, we automatically send some Near into their account so that they don't need to worry about gas fees, topping up their wallet with Near, right? So this is what we have built, and again, we saw the results of already 2,000 plus NFTs minted by completely new Web2 users. They wouldn't have even heard of Web3 till now, and all of this happened on Near, right? And the bigger idea here is this is just the starting point. We want to add more and more DeFi and other projects that are there on Near into our SDK and take them to the next million users, 100 million users, which will come through these Web2 products, right? And quickly covering the roadmap, what we've done so far is we started this project in January this year. And first few months, we integrated Web3 auth, we integrated Minbase and FuenFR. As again, we wanted to give options to the projects that we work with on whatever APIs work for NFT collections and management for them. And we added sponsor gas fees features, and finally launched our JS SDK, which works on both React and React Native in February, and finished the Growfit integration and launched Growfit in the last one. So we have one more prediction-based Web2 game who is now coming into Web3 called Bitverse. The integration is happening as we speak, right? And what we have for future, is one, we want to add more onboarding options again for our users. Right now it's MPC based social logins, but we want to add non-MPC based logins as well, and add swaps powered through Orderly, and staking and liquid staking natively integrated with no SDK, adding marketplaces, and finally launching Unreal and Unity SDK so that even games can integrate our SDK and provide native experience, right? So that's the bigger goal here, which is either for both, right? One set of users are these games or Web2 companies, Web2 products, which now want to come into Web3. And we want to make that super easy for them, instead of, they themselves figuring out how to build a wallet and all of this, integrate all of these DeFi projects. We want to make it very easy, one shop solution for their integrations and coming on to Web3. And second is even the existing Web3 products who wants to add native wallet capabilities. Again, they also can integrate our SDK and provide a wallet experience without taking users outside their apps, right? So that's our first product. Moving on to our second product, which is slightly, let me change case here. And this one is Leap Alerts, basically instant on-chain alerts through webhooks. And again, the problem here is right now, there is no easy solution for dApps to communicate with their users and build workflows around on-chain transaction activity. Right? Again, notifications are in general awesome for any product. They're powerful both from product experience and as well as user experience. But there's no easy solution that exists in the market right now. So the solution that we are proposing, we are building, is a fast webhook-based on-chain listening service that allows for extreme customization and of events and output. What I mean by that is we are building a data parsing system and data streaming system, which essentially listens to every on-chain data that happens, converts them into, or classifies them into transaction type 1, 2, 3, and lets any developer subscribe to these events. And once they get these events into their backend, they can decide to do whatever they want, right? For example, they can add a notification functionality within their apps through which they can set probably something like price alerts, new project alerts, transaction status updates, etc. Or they can build a Discord bot, which again, any user can subscribe to their own Discord channels. So the possibilities are endless here. And again, we talked to the developers in the ecosystem and realized the scope of it is slightly larger. It's actually we broke it down into 4 different pieces and started with building the first one. This is in the development right now. I'll quickly show the demo as well. But yeah, we want to enable developers immediately to set up these alert-based workflows. Let me take a few minutes and show you how this works. So this is the developer dashboard that we're building for subscribing to chain events. First thing is you select the chain. And like I said, right, what we do is we currently work with 2 data sources. One is Nearlake framework, which is nothing but near actual blockchain data. And so, second is SocialDB, which is powering Near Alpha. And what happens in these 2 DBs is the data is stored in a very unstructured way. It's not easy to read for any developer or anyone else. So first thing that we do is parse the entire all the on-chain data that is coming and classify them into certain transaction types. So this parsing job is something that we are building as we speak, and currently we support few SocialDB events, like if someone followed you on Near Social, or someone liked your post, someone poked you, or few transaction use cases like you sent some Near to one of your friends, or you stayed Near, you unstayed and withdrew Near. So again, this is the starting point for us, that this is what we cover, but the idea is to add more and more transaction types, right? And yeah, now coming to this dashboard, let's say you want to subscribe to an event called Stake. What you do is, all you do is select it from this transaction type on subscribe. Now let me quickly show you how this works. Let me go to my demo wallet and let me stake right now. Let me stake with Jaza 1 year. So right now I am actually doing this transaction, and once the transaction is successful, this information is stored on Near blockchain, right? Which is again streamed through Nearlake framework once the transaction gets successful. Let me wait for a couple of seconds. Yeah, there you go. Delegator, I mean, I have added, state from my account, ESK Kaushik, that's my demo account. And as you can see, the information that this particular transaction has taken place is shown here in a very easy to read format, right? You can see the delegator name, you can see the validator name, what is the quantity. Now, as a developer, we will give you an option to stream this data in this easy to read format to your DB through a webhook, right? You just need to connect your webhook URL and we'll start sending this data to your DB. And after that point, again, that's you can decide to use that stream data to power your notifications or build your own bots to do some other transaction. It's up to you. It's now flexible for you to do what you want. So let me show that side also. What we have done internally for the sake of this demo is quickly build a prototype on Near Alpha, which is we built a Telegram notification bot on Near Alpha. It's again pretty simple. I'm already connected, but the instructions are pretty straightforward. And this time, let's do it for a social interaction. Let's say poke, right? Let me quickly subscribe to it. And Sam Chinmay, if you're on the call, can you poke me on your social? Let's wait for a couple of seconds for them to do that. Yeah, there you go. Basically, Sam from his end has poked me on your social, and we see that information here already. Again, very easy to read. This is the person who got poked, and this is the action, right? Poking. Now let's me go to the lead board. Yeah, this is the Telegram bot that we have built, and there you see the Telegram notification for the poking. And just before previous transaction which is taking, and I got a notification for that as well. So again, like I said, folks, this is more of a prototype that we have built to show the power of this system that we are talking about. Before this, right? It's that straightforward now. You can create webhooks in seconds, and if you have a bot already there, connecting it will probably take one more half an hour. And yeah, you have your own Telegram notification setup, system setup, right? So that's our second product. Any questions I'll probably take at the end. But this is what we have built right now. But in terms of our next steps, in terms of roadmap, what we want to also solve for is marketing alerts, where the projects and dApps can communicate more frequently, way more easily with their end consumers, let it be for their marketing updates or any product updates that they have. The second part is something called custom transaction alerts. You as a project might have very, very specific use cases, right? For example, if we take Burrow, you might want to send a liquidation notification to your user whenever their health factor is, comes down below threshold. Again, right now, we want to, let you enable you to do that, set up these rules, right? And finally, more of an end-to-end solution, which is we plan to build a inbox widget, which we can provide to you as an SDK, which will again be powered through our Leap. Where your user can come into your dApp, you can go to inbox and give their preferences on what kind of notification they would want to receive, and then start receiving this notification. And all of this at the background will be powered by Leap Alerts, right? So that's the direction we want to take. Like I said, this part of it, alert-based, this webhooks dashboard will go live very soon to the developers, and we are looking for alpha partners to try it out and build more features over it. And that's on Leap Alerts, right? Now, coming finally to the third product, which is Indexer. So this is one such problem which is very close to us as well, because it's probably the first problem or first hurdle that we faced when we were building wallet on Near. Primarily for two use cases, right? So we faced two issues. One is in terms of performance, we needed really fast and low latency data solution to which we can pull out users' wallet balances, for example, or any other data that we want to show to our users on the front end. And we also needed to be very highly reliable, and we couldn't find a public infra that was there was lagging on one of these two or both of these at some point in time, right? And second problem that we faced is there was definitely limitation on what type of data is also available for us to show to the user. For example, one of the use case that we were building was to show users portfolio over time. How did a user's portfolio change over time based on price changes that happen or their investments that change? And again, for that, getting historical data was a problem for us to solve for. So yeah, I mean, this was visible frustration is where we found ourselves with, right? And that's when we had a chat with rest of the developers and rest of the projects. And yeah, this was a common problem that quite a few projects faced. And the solution they went for is they have built their own indexer from scratch using Near-like framework for any of their custom use cases. And that works to an extent, but the same problem exists, right? Their core product is probably the dApp or any DeFi project, but they are focusing now on building an indexer so to solve for the performance. So that's where we thought we can actually provide a solution here, wherein we can build an indexer and actually provide, instead of providing again half solutions, we can provide end-to-end really easy to use APIs that will solve for querying either real-time data or historical data. So we started building a proof of concept, I think roughly 1-2 months ago. And let me quickly show where we are right now. So this is again a front end which is powered, which is connected to our token balance API. We took roughly 1-2 months to build a API which returns all the tokens and the values, how many tokens that user has for a particular given Near account, right? So let me show for search for any account. Let me search for Tiffany.near, and yeah, there you go. You can see the difference visibly 3x faster than public RPC nodes, which is again, we use public RPC in the process followed by usual wallets on Near, and versus on the right side, you see the result of it on the right side. On the left side, you see the results of how fast we were able to pull the data through our own APIs, right? And one more thing is the reliability as well. For our APIs, it's very clear that we will, the time will range from 200 to 450 milliseconds. While for public RPC nodes, it might be, 1,001 second right now, but 5 seconds in some time, right? Again, the reliability is one more thing that we are solving through our API currently. And the idea again on Indexer is this was just a POC for us. We want to work very closely with the developers and projects and build custom Indexer solutions for them, custom Indexer APIs. And yeah, so that's I think, let me end with this first. I think, yeah, are you ready to build with us? What we're looking for is multiple projects where we think there are these common products which almost every project on Near or dApp on Near would want to have. And right now they are focusing their time building these infra products instead of their core product. And we want to fill that gap and build it for them. Right.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. I personally thought, when I first heard about Leap Wallet, I kind of thought that you guys only building a wallet and the SDK for the wallet. But as far as I gathered from this presentation of yours, you guys are building basically the whole structure around the to basically simplify the way developers utilize wallets and how they interact even with the Near itself. So that's great to hear that you are working and branching out not only towards wallet building, which is kind of the market is kind of oversaturated with just wallets that build wallets, and you guys definitely are delving deeper, and you are definitely tapping into the market that is, to my knowledge, is untapped. At least in the Near ecosystem. And it's great to hear that you have side projects or even projects like, alerts that you have, Leap alerts. So yeah, that's very expansive kind of field that you are covering. I'll also relegate to my colleague Okaya so that he can ask you questions that he has prepared. Okaya, please.
Yeah, many thanks for enlightening us on what you're building. I believe wallets are a crucial infrastructure since they are gateways to blockchain apps and onboard users. However, like my colleague Jumbo says, it seems to be Leap Wallet is like even building beyond with its features. So truly amazing, man. I was wondering, what are the main approaches for Leap Wallet, excuse me, to further fundamental innovation and application of Web3 wallets?
Right. So if you see, right, I think for us, the thesis for wallet has always been taking the super app approach. I think Ilya was just talking about that from a boss context, but from a wallet context as well, since the time we started building, which is roughly 1.5 years ago, we wanted to always build a super wallet. Right? That's been our go-to line forever, which for us, fundamentally, from a user standpoint, user doesn't need to go to 4 or 5 different websites and interact with different apps individually. Right? All of these experiences can be brought into the wallet itself, and wallet can be that one point of contact for the user through the blockchain. Right? Most of the, at least 80 to 90% of the use cases they might have can be covered through these 5 to 6 dApps. All of these can be integrated within the wallet, and that's one side of innovation we want to bring into Web3 wallet building in general. right? And second is our primary focus on user experience and design, and all of this, which actually comes very clear from a mobile standpoint. So we are a very mobile first wallet, and I think it's about time wallet should move to, in general, all products should move to mobile. So again, within the mobile also, again, bringing in the dApp browser side, notifications is another big key feature that is very fundamental, that comes through wallets only, right? So from a wallet building standpoint, yes, I think these are the two things: super app and mobile first focus with focus on UX, I would say. Yeah.
Amazing.
But just extending that thought to what we did. Sorry. Yeah, just extend that thought to what we discussed, which is from a developer product standpoint as well. We think, yeah, I think in general, onboarding and wallet experiences right now, which are embedded within dApps, makes the experience broken. Hence, I think native wallet should be the way forward. Again, they should be very responsive, should be fast, and all dApps should have a way to communicate with users as well. So while we are building a wallet with these functionalities, we think every dApp in the ecosystem should also have these functionalities. And yeah, these three products should help them do that. Yeah.
Amazing. What are the key targets of Leap Wallet to provide a seamless Web3 experience for users?
Yeah. Again, depend on the user, but I think it's both. I think there are two sets of users, right? One is new to Web3 users who wouldn't have experienced Web3 till now. Second is existing Web3 users who would have seen it all. So for both of them, I think fundamentally wallet onboarding experience needs to change whenever they go to a new ecosystem like Near, or in general interacting with new dApps on Near. The whole initial onboarding parts of seed phrases and adding some tokens to get started, all of that I think needs to be made way more simpler. I think we are taking the right directions in terms of social logins, and I know KeepOn has been doing good, amazing innovation on that front, solid for onboarding friction. I think that's one thing that we also want to target and solve for and make it very easy. And second is specifically for the Web2 users coming into Web3. Again, initial few transactions, we want to almost handhold them and introduce Web3 in steps, right? So probably first introduce how to do what is NFT, explain what is an NFT, how to do NFT minting, then introduce them to swaps, and then introduce them to probably some other games, etc. So handhold them and building this initial 5 transaction, 10 transaction journey I think is key, and I think wallets will play a big role there.
Sounds great, thanks. Then I have one more question left for you. How does Leap improve the security standards within the Web3 wallet space?
Right. So coming to security, we have always been pro security. I think security in general is the top focus while we are building our wallets. First of all, to start off with, we are completely non-custodial. We don't store users' keys anywhere. Only users have access to their funds when they use Leap Wallet, right? On second step is we are audited. All of our code is audited, backend, front end, both by Halban. And on Near as well, we will be initiating our audit process to make sure when our Near wallet is audited. But we use the same principles that we used on other chains like Cosmos and Terra or other wallets, right? And 3 is on Near specifically, we are launching with Web3 Auth. We have integrated Web3 Auth, which provide MPC based wallet solutions, right? Which means the keys are actually, no one is accessing them. Keys are actually split into 3 parts, which one part is stored in the device, which the user owns. Second part is connected to their login, social login provider. And third part is actually stored within 9 nodes that Web3 Auth maintains, right? So no one in the ecosystem has access to these keys. Only the user, who has access to the device and their social login can get complete full access key through which they can do transactions, right? And this essentially enables 2 things, right? One is the risk of losing access key is minimized. Second is, again, it still remains non-custodial and no one owns it. It's always encrypted in the device, right? So we follow this very fundamental security practices like always encrypting. When the password is encrypted whenever we store it in the device, seed phrase are always, of course, encrypted. and we never store it in any of our databases, or we never transmit it over network, right? So quite a lot of old hats on wallet space has been because of these fundamental mistakes while building for security. We always make sure that we are not doing them. It's always encrypted, never transmitted over network, and now we have also added the MPC layer over it.